Tomorrow is the day religious right and conservative legal movement and their voters and their lawyers have spent hundreds of millions of dollars and a few decades planning for. Tomorrow is also the day Democrats have feared and warned would come. Elena Treen of Axios will tell us about the political implications, but we start with Mae Davis, a woman who designed much of the strategy for tomorrow. She last served in President Trump's White House counsel's office and joins us now. Counselor, we appreciate you being with us. You're the lawyer and the expert. Did we get anything wrong in the intro?
No, that was a great summary. And you're exactly right. The stakes for tomorrow are very high. I mean, there are watch parties run by lawyers in every state.
I can't exactly think a watch party with lawyers would be exciting, but there you go. Is there a middle ground here where the court somehow upholds Roe, but also upholds this Mississippi law?
So a middle ground would be very hard to find. Roe versus Wade and Casey are legally indefensible. And my professors at Harvard Law School, even the most liberal professors, would say, yeah, there is no constitutional trimester system for Casey. Viability is not in the Constitution. So the question really is not whether this case would have been decided in this way if these were the first justices to think about it. It really is this case worth overturning now that we have it, now that we've got this system built up? So that's really going to be what the question is. And if the justices really try and find a middle ground where they can uphold the Mississippi law, but not really discuss Roe versus Wade, as you said, this will be devastating to the conservative legal movement, which has really dedicated itself.
Yeah, no, this day is what 20 years of work is come to. I want to touch on what you said, and I never want to argue law with a lawyer because I'm not one, but even Ruth Bader Ginsburg sort of agreed with you at one point and said that Roe is hard to find in the Constitution. So that's an important point. So the court may be looking for something there. If the court was not going to overturn Roe, why take this case at all?
So that's one of the things that's a little interesting about this case is that when this case was presented to the Supreme Court, it was presented on a challenge to the Mississippi law, not as a straightforward, we want to overturn Roe versus Wade. Then when Mississippi actually ended up briefing the case, they squarely presented it and said, we would like to overturn Roe versus Wade. And so what Mississippi will now argue, which is not exactly what they argued when they were asking the court to take this case, is that yes, I think the justices, at least certainly the swing justices, will agree that Roe versus Wade was decided wrongly, but is it time to change the law?
After this, we'll take it two parts. Post-Roe strategy has been something the conservative movement has spent a lot of time and money on. If Roe is overturned and the Mississippi law is upheld, does abortion effectively become illegal in almost all of America?
So it does not. And I think for most Americans, they won't really see a difference. I mean, in all of your major cities in New York and California, there is no way that they're going to enact pro-life policies all of a sudden after decades of not doing it. So yes,
well, but you think about major cities. You think about Florida's a red state right now. Texas is certainly a red state right now with its own challenges as it relates to abortion laws. There's a huge population of America that could no longer have access to abortions, right?
That's certainly the case, I guess. So then you would have some of your red states. And even though these trigger laws are in effect right now, it's going to be until, several months until the Supreme Court actually rules. And then you're going to have an election right on the heels of that. So this is going to be a very political issue. I think these trigger laws, yes, they're in the books, but this is something that's going to be continually talked about and continually reassessed at the state level.
And if all of a sudden the court has decided effectively, and you think about, say, Justice Kavanaugh, who talked in his confirmation hearing about this is the law of the land, Roe's been the law for 45 years and the like, if they decide to uphold Roe and say just that's precedent, and even though we disagree with how it was decided, then we're just going to go forward and Mississippi has to change their rules. Is this the end of the conservative legal movement?
The conservative legal movement is going to have to rethink what its goals are. I mean, if you've spent your entire time trying to get judges on the Supreme Court that will apply the law as written and not as convenient, and then you get this, I think that you're going to see a big change in how do we focus on preserving the rights of the unborn? How do we focus on having a more robust, a more muscular conservative movement that doesn't just crumble when something seems a little bit difficult?
May, fascinating analysis. Enjoy the watch party tomorrow. This isn't over, obviously. We want to have you back to talk about it all. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.